Well, it's noon where I am. So anyway, uh, my question is, how do you figure out the division of responsibilities between a portable tech document reader and the author of a document? In other words, where in all of this discussion of ideas of uploading, downloading, does this occur? I mean, if you're going to have portable tech documents, it sounds like you need something like Adobe Acrobat, only for tech. Is that kind of what people are thinking? I mean, and if so, what exactly? Where does this? Where does all this uploading and downloading going to go on in the reader on each person's machine? I'm just thinking out loud. I don't understand quite how it would work.
I think your question is a good one. By reader, of course, you mean the reading software. So that renderer might be a better idea. So as far as the portable document is concerned, all that's needed is the list of the dependencies and a mapping of the dependencies to secure hashes. And hidden in amongst those dependencies, and I'm not going to deal with it at this time, is the version of tech or the typesetting engine that you use. The portable, the discussion is a little bit analogous to what happens when you get a web page, because the web page tells the web browser, I need this font, and I need this style file, and I need all sorts of other things. And various standards exist that say this is exactly what must happen in these circumstances with this input with the web browser. And a great deal of work was done with HTML5 to produce a sort of uniform rendering engine, even down to quirks and faults and errors and inputs. So there you've sort of got a constrained system. Here, the analog to the web browser is the rendering engine, which we can, for example, take to be tech or PDF tech or something like that. And there's a piece of infrastructure which is, how do I get hold of all these resources? That's the thing the reader has to deal with, is getting hold of all these resources. And I think that might be related to your question, do I have to be connected to the internet to deal with this? And the answer is yes, you have to be connected to the internet or something else if you come across a resource that you don't already have. I'm hoping that the concept of a reader will develop as the documents develop, so that ultimately one would hope that somebody sends you a portable tech document and you prefer to use one piece of software rather than another. Whatever piece of software and whatever configuration you choose to give that piece of software will get the stuff for you. At the moment, MikTeX gets the stuff for you during the tech compilation, whereas TechLive wants it established before, and each of them gets it from their own place, rather than there being a sort of common standard for tech repositories for installation of packages. Well, with portable tech docs based upon Git, the common standard will be a Git repository or something like it. I haven't completely answered your question, but I think I've said enough to convince you, Doug, that I've understood it.
That's true.
Well, that's the purpose of asking a question, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I've thought about some of this stuff with respect to my own publishing efforts and my own, projects, and it's really complicated and hard. And PDF solves it by including all the resources they need in one file and then giving away a reader free and it doesn't need the internet. So I'm just looking at the competition, you know.
Well, PDF is a solution for rendering pages to print or to screen, pages that have already been typeset. Here, what we're talking about is the documents that can be typeset. So one would hope that a portable tech document would be an editable document in a way that a PDF isn't.
Okay, I see.
Well, there's one way to come up with a portable document, and that is take all of Tech Live, add your document to it, and zip it.
Yeah,
So that's the solution. Now you just have to make it more efficient.
yeah, and in a sense, that's what I'm doing. The first thing is you don't fetch the bits of Tech Live that you've already got.
Yeah.
And second thing is you don't ask for the bits of Tech Live that you don't need.
Well, that's what I did with my electronic book. It's everything I took, everything I need, which was only about 3 files, or except for the fonts, is distributed with the app, and nobody knows anything about it. It's just it's the equivalent of being embedded in a PDF file, except it's embedded in an app's bundle instead.
This reduction and minimization is something that web developers have been doing for a very long time, ever since the internet became more serious and there were too many web pages to look at. So that if there was the delay of more than 1/10 of a second, you'll start getting bored. And so speeding rendering and speeding the download is really important. You see, with Tech Live, the image, the model people have is, well, you install it once, so never mind that it takes a while, and never mind it occupies a lot of space, because disks are cheap. Whereas the image of the model of the web development is bandwidth might be cheap, but it's slow. And you're competing with attention. And so if you can't get your homepage up in 1/10 of a second or half a second, you're lost. And if the navigation takes long, you're lost. And people Google did things like downloading the next page you're going to look at, just in case you're going to look at it, so that you get a better response. And that's more the model of portable tech documents. Is a lot of stuff will be downloaded ahead of time, particularly the fonts, they're big. And particularly the stuff you've used before, because you're going to use it again. And that's what the web cache is all about. The style files that you used 30 seconds ago are likely to be used for the next page. So we'll keep them in the cache and clear the cache when we have to. And you can think of the portable tech documents as, in some sense, providing a caching strategy. And indeed, the secure hashes that I've talked about are used in websites for the names of files that they want to be stored in the cache. Because what can happen is that if you have wibble.css as one of your style sheets, one of your names of your style sheets, you go to a new version of the site and you still call the file .css, but it's got different content, then you're screwed. But you gave wibble.css a very long time to live. And so the old version comes in. So instead you disambiguate by adding a secure hash to the name of the file. That's done in websites, and it's a similar technique to what I'm suggesting here. I'm going to bring this to a conclusion soon, as soon as you allow me to, which is a list of things that I wrote as things to do mainly for myself, but I think I'll share them with you. The first is things to exclude special case. And I think that font metrics I'm willing to special case, and font files I'm willing to exclude at this time. Part of that is from the point of view of Don Knuth's tech, which is the only tech, of course. The font files are not required for typesetting. Typesetting is a question of deciding where to put things. It's not a question of rendering something that's visible. The typeset output from tech is a DVI file. And I'm concerned at this point simply to make the production of DVI files more reliable and more straightforward. And another system, for example, your current existing Tech Live system can then process the DVI files after they've been created. So if you use the post DVI part of Tech Live and my alternative Tech Live to create DVI, you're in business. You've got, so to speak, the best of both worlds, or at least elements of both worlds.